Alright, so let's talk about Theseus Protocol on this episode of Watch Before You Buy. This is a deck building roguelite game that definitely plays similar to other titles in the genre like Slay the Spire and Vault of the Void. Is there enough unique mechanics and potential here to make it stand out on its own? Essentially, is it worth playing? I'll be going over a little bit of the story, the gameplay, and then we'll come right back here to give you guys my final thoughts on Theseus Protocol, the good and the bad. Let's get started. It was developed by Starseeker Studio and published by MabiVsGames. It launched in early access on January 17th, 2023, available to play on Steam PC, and is currently going for $9.99 US. All footage you're seeing today is taken straight from my Let's Play channel, so if you're interested, there's a link down below to that, my Twitch and Discord. Love to see you guys there. Thanks. The setting of Theseus Protocol takes place in a dystopian future. You'll take control of 3 characters trying to unravel the mystery of Mark City. As mentioned before, this is a deck building roguelite game. The gameplay loop here consists of 10 to 40 or so minute speedruns, depending on if you lose early or like to play slow and think things out. You start with one character to pick from, and after leveling them up, the other 2 unlock. These characters all have their own starting cards, weapons, and gimmicks to master. Before each run, you'll see a brief description of how the character works, and also your weapon loadouts. As you play, lose, and win runs, you'll gain currency used to modify your starting weapons. For example, more damage, less cooldown, larger mod capacity, and special skills. This is definitely a metagame where you should get stronger each run as you gain new skills and game knowledge. Now for the actual runs themselves. You start with a deck of dozen or so cards. The goal is to choose between various encounters on a linear path to get to the boss of the floor. Each fight consists of a battlefield of 6 spots, 3 for your side and 3 for the enemies. Take down their HP to finish the fight. Every turn you draw cards and use your replenishing mana to cast them. Tons of different cards for various effects. You got damage, shielding, positioning, manipulation, buffs, debuffs, etc. One unique mechanic this game has is the ability to burn your cards for the encounter in order to charge your equipments. These are powerful weapons that can turn the tide of battle and even have complete builds surrounding them. After each fight, you get a choice of 3 sets of 3 cards to add to your deck. You then move on to another encounter. This can be, more fights, events for choosing your own rewards, shops, and even rest points. After some elite and mid fights, you'll face the boss of the floor. And that's pretty much Theseus Protocol in a nutshell. There's a couple of more things like artifacts, unlocking skills and such, but you get the point. If you've played deck building roguelite games before, then you'll be pretty comfortable learning this game. Alright, time for my final thoughts on Theseus Protocol. At the moment, at least when the game is out, as it stands in early access, I would not recommend this game in its current state. Unless you're absolutely dying for more deck building games, you might want to wait for a sale or pass this one up. Let's start with some of the good things about the game though. First of all, I like the theme, futuristic, very anime. The artwork of the characters themselves and some of the still images in the events are kind of cool, very anime, drawn well, lots of detail on them. The animations, as mentioned, they are there in battle. The cards are decent, very vibrant. However, I feel like a lot of them are lacking, movement, animation for some reason. Some effects definitely need to be added, especially when some effects happen, like environmental effects, when enemies attack, when you attack. There are some there, but it needs to be more prevalent because a lot of things just happen at once and you don't really know what's going on. So, the characters look good, but the battlefields themselves, they look really, really bland. At least the first floor, which is first impressions. The next floor, you end up going to a city, which looks a lot better. Honestly, it is not a good first impressions that the very first enemies you fight are different colored types of balls. It just looks so lazy. However, like I said, once you get a little bit further, you do see more variety of enemies, but that first start, it's like, ugh, I'm fighting balls, great. The unique mechanics here of burning to charge your weapons, they are nice, but I think it's definitely held back by the overall product themselves. You get 3 characters, 3 gimmicks, and it's good for replayability. You can choose your weapons and upgrade them. I think this is amazing. It adds a lot of longevity to the game. One thing I do not like though are the environmental hazards. They happen every single fight. It's pretty annoying, and the only way to look at them is to click on the side of the screen to have a pop-out window, and then you read it, then you close it back. It's just kind of annoying. Also, the game is very unbalanced, especially the enemies. Some are a cakewalk where you don't even need to think, and then others kill you in like 1 to 2 turns, and I'm talking about one encounter after the other. It just doesn't make any sense, the difficulty curve there. Also, some upgrades and cards are just plain better or worse, the same with artifacts, but once again, these problems are balance issues which can be fixed easily. A lot of these are just number tweaks. Also, because this is a deck building roguelike, it's kind of hard to be completely original, I think. So you would see some encounters kind of straight out of Slay the Spire. However, I am also seeing some reports of FPS drops, slowdown, and crashes. Luckily, I did not get any of that. Also, lots and lots of translation issues. This can be fixed as well, but hopefully soon, because it's not just misspelling, from their language to English, but also just misinformation on cards, like things that just don't make sense, and mechanical wise that would make you think a card's supposed to work a certain way and then it works the opposite, or just something weird happens. So that is a big thing they need to fix right away if they want people to get into this game. All right, so to sum it up, I like the aesthetic. Always fun to see a Slay the Spire clone, just to see what they can come up with. And I do like the burning mechanics here. Good meta progression. All the issues stated can be fixed. And also there's just not enough content at the moment. The crashing, translation expected, card behavior, blah blah blah. So in the future, maybe a good pickup in the future. Maybe version 1.0, we'll see how long it takes them in early access. But right now, would you pick the game up right now? I would say you wait for a heavy sale or straight out skip it. Not saying never ever play it, it has potential. It's just there's a lot of other great deck building games, that you can sink your teeth into in the meantime. So that's going to be it. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, it helps a lot. If you haven't already subscribed for daily videos, let me know what you guys think about Theseus Protocol. Are you thinking about getting the game anyway? Have you played it? Maybe you have more to say. Thanks for watching, and once again, you can see everything on the Let's Play channel, my Twitch, and all the Discord link in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.